Another critical model to look at is simply called the what model. It's called the what model because it uses three very simple questions. The first question is what? The second question is so what? And the third question is now what? Let's see what these questions actually refer to. In the first level, what? It's very much about reflecting on the situation. What happened? What was going on? Describing, as we've seen in other models. The next level, so what, is reflecting on what that really means in terms of the literature that we've read, our theoretical understanding, the concepts that we understand. And finally, that leads into now what, or in other words, the action step of the process of the reflective cycle. So we have what, so what, and now what. We can very easily think of these in terms of very specific questions. And for example, in the first level, the what level is what is the problem? What reason is there for us being stuck at this particular point? What was my role in the situation? What action did I take? So it's always using that key word, what, to describe what actually happened. What were the consequences for me? What were the consequences for the students? These are just sample questions. The idea is that the teacher, him or herself, will use the key cue, what, in order to frame the questions as part of the reflective process. The next level, the so what, the theorizing, the knowledge building component. So what does this tell me is a good question to ask. So what did I base my actions on? Or in other words, why did I do that? So what should I have done in that particular situation? You can start to see how you can frame particular questions using that cue, so what? Other questions, is my understanding, so what is my understanding of the incident? So these questions, the first level, second level, and third level questions, you can phrase them in any way you choose, and you can ask any questions to help you think the way you want to think about your teaching. And then finally, the action phase, the now what question. Now what do I need to do? Now what are the broader issues at stake here? Now what are the consequences for me or for the students? Now what can I do to transfer this learning to my next teaching session? Again, the questions that you can ask here are personal. You can identify your own. They're not fixed, as in the other models we've seen. This gives a lot of freedom to the teacher, and this very useful framework, the what, so what, and now what, gives you the starting point for the questions you can ask. And what's always important with all reflective practice is that whatever process you take, whatever model you choose to use, that it is actually part of a cycle. And so these questions, these what questions, what, now what, so what, and now what, need to be iterated a number of times, not just once, but again and again and again. And we can look at these in terms of, again, a nice straightforward model, the what, so what, and now what components, going through repeatedly a number of iterations. And whatever questions you ask at those particular levels is up to you as a practitioner. But at the what level, it's very much about description. Whatever viewpoint you take is entirely up to you, but the what question will help you describe the things happening in the classroom. The so what is where you will take that description and start to link it to your own understandings and theories. And this then will lead into the now what, in other words, the action-oriented component of the model.